Hello everyone, and welcome to the GKaiser Age. I am Lucian GKaiser, and today I'm going to be starting a brand new video series called Gundam Build Mechanics. The series will be reviews of my favorite Gundam model kits, during which I will discuss the quality of the model kits along with how they relate to the mechanics shown in the actual show it comes from. There may be spoilers as I discuss the mechanics of the mobile suits, so if you haven't watched the series and don't want to be spoiled, come back when you have watched it. So now I just have to choose a Gundam for my Gundam Build Mechanics video. But I have so many awesome and memorable Gundams, it's hard to pick one to start with. As you can see, I have a pretty large selection of kits just on my shelf alone, not to mention what I have in storage to choose from. What's going on here? One of my master grade Gundams is missing. Where did it... Wait a minute. What's that sound? Is that music? It sounds like jazz! It's a Gundam! Ah! This is the full armor Thunderbolt Gundam, piloted by one of my favorite Gundam pilots, E.O. Fleming, in the Gundam Thunderbolt ONA, original net anime, and the enhanced movie version, December Sky. The Thunderbolt sector that E.O. operates in is full of space debris from many battles and a destroyed colony, thus the need for such a uniquely designed full armor Gundam with specialized weapons and equipment. The design, while bulky looking, is amazingly agile in space and easily able to engage in high-speed combat within the debris field. And the master grade Ver.Ka really captures the deadly beauty of the Thunderbolt Gundam. Let's take a closer look at the Gundam model kit itself and see how this beast of a mobile suit does as a master grade Ver.Ka kit, starting with the base Gundam mobile suit itself and its weapons. The full armor Gundam earns its name by being equipped with thick layered armor over the main Gundam body, designed to withstand direct impacts from Zaku 120mm machine guns, even withstanding an explosion from a cracker grenade in the animation from Point Blank. This model kit does a fantastic job of replicating the detail of that armor from the show, with all the thrusters needed to move the Gundam at incredible speeds that it's seen moving at throughout the anime. The armor is fairly easy to attach and remove off of the kit, though I honestly would not recommend doing it too often, as a few of my water slide decals have gotten messed up in the process of making this video and just posing the kit itself over time. The Thunderbolt Gundam is a pretty lengthy build, but very fun to put together, and the end result is a powerful Gundam that truly represents what we see in the anime. This is the main body of the Gundam Thunderbolt, a heavily modified version of the original RX-78-1, redesigned for high maneuverability space combat, and to be equipped with the full armor Thunderbolt system. It still comes with a core block system, though the core fighter is designed as a deep space pod with maneuvering fins instead of the fighter plane design of the original core fighter, since the full armor Gundam was not designed for atmospheric combat. The head has the standard Gundam basic design, but the full armor does not have the head Vulcan cannons. The spots where they usually are taken up by backup sensors and cameras, which will prove to be both a hindrance and an advantage in battle. And moving to the back, we can see that there's a spare beam saber that the Gundam can use as a last resort when the armor has been purged. The Gundam kit recreates this with excellent detail, allowing the beam saber holder to swing out. With the flexibility of the arms, you can easily move them backwards to grab that saber from its rack in a very neat pose. The backpack itself has minimal thrusters on it, as they are meant to be a backup for the Gundam without its full armor system on. The arms have a very good range of flexibility with or without the full armor installed, and like the legs, have the debris cover protection covering the joint areas. The hand is on a special joint to the wrist that is attached by a ball joint, but is also a joint on the hand itself that allows a greater range of movement and bend. The fingers on the hand are fixed pose, but this kit comes with several versions for holding different weapons and other fixed poses for them. The panel lines on the arms are great, and with the way the kit is designed, the seam lines between the pieces seems natural instead of breaking the look of the kit. The skirts on the kit have an extension on the ball joint that allows for a larger range of movement than most other Gundam kits, and this lets the legs swing back and forth with greater range. The legs are well articulated, and the joints are very firm and strong like those of the arms, which is great considering the weight of this kit. The foot has a great bend to it and a decent ankle pivot, allowing for some good posability. The legs also have the same space debris covering as the arms, as mentioned before, required for all mobile suits operating in the Thunderbolt sector, since any debris getting into the joints could make the arms or legs jam up. The material used on this kit makes the building process a little bit more difficult, but once it's complete it looks fantastic and does not impede the movement of the arms or the legs. The Thunderbolt Gundam has several thrusters along its legs and the shoulders that helps provide the extreme mobility that it shows off in the anime. Now, let's take a closer look at the skirts on the kit, as they have a unique feature. The missiles from the full armor mode are hidden behind a rotating cover, and this is great so you don't have to remove them to show the Gundam with the missiles expended after the purge of the full armor system. Now, before we get to the full armor system, let's take a look at one of the most well-recognized parts of the Gundam Thunderbolt, the Thunderbolt Sector Backpack Unit. The backpack unit is equipped with reinforced manipulators that are used to hold weapons or shields. In the case of Federation mobile suits, it's always an extra pair of shields that they use to block larger pieces of debris while moving at high speed throughout the sector. I want to reassure you that this was replicated nearly perfectly with the Master Grade Gundam Thunderbolt. The manipulators can easily support the weight of the shields and compose them any way you see in the show. The connection between the claw and the shield handle can be a little finicky at some times, but it holds up well against the weight of the shield amazingly. On the sides and back of the kit, you can see various thruster pods, giving the Gundam Thunderbolt its incredible speed and agility, and for increased range, it comes with two large propellant tanks that also have large thrusters on them as well. The only part that the kit does not manage to retain from the anime is the fact that the tanks can be jettisoned or removed and then used as a makeshift rocket, which EO did once. And the only way to actually replicate that, you would actually have to take them partially apart, but that's just a minor thing really. For weapons, the backpack unit is armed with a large beam gun and missile pod. Both are devastating weapons that have destroyed multiple Zeon mobile suits. We'll be discussing both of them in detail in the upcoming full armor system part review, but they are replicated with expert detail on the Master Grade kit. The backpack is also armed with beam sabers on the side. They can be a bit difficult to get out, but once you do, they can be placed in the Gundam's hand or even in one of the manipulators, even though this was never shown in the anime. But it's great that you can actually do that with them. I love the fact that the Thunderbolt Gundam details for the main mobile suit body were kept in full, even though it has very little screen time except for at the end of the final battle in the anime. It goes to show the dedication of the Ver.Ka line of Gundam model kits in preserving this much detail in the actual main mobile suit body. Alright, now that we've gotten a good look at the Thunderbolt Gundam without its full armor system, let's get fully armed and armored to take on Zeon's Living Dead division. This is the full armor Gundam Thunderbolt in all of its glory, and I have to say the master grade Ver.Ka captures this beauty of a devil of a Gundam perfectly. The moment I first saw this mobile suit in action, I knew a master grade version was going to be an instant purchase for me, and it truly inspired fear in Zeon's Living Dead division when they first got a good look at it in the anime. The armor is a composite blend designed to absorb both beam and ballistics fire, greatly increasing the Gundam's resilience, as this unit was designed to breach enemy front lines with devastating force. Speaking of force, let's take a look at the powerful weaponry on this mobile suit, starting with the backpack mounted weapons. We have the large beam cannon mounted on a gimbal, allowing for a large field of fire. This weapon is designed to emit a powerful beam from long to medium range accurate fire that can literally melt a hole through even battleship class armor. It is a lot of fun being able to pose this weapon at different angles, and its firepower in the anime easily matched most mega particle cannons that would normally be found on larger warships. A missile pod is mounted on the other side. This weapon can fire standard mobile suit killer missiles or cluster munition missiles, and was the weapon used to claim the life of one of the Living Dead division snipers. The standard missiles carry high yield warheads, while the cluster munitions contain high explosive burst warheads. Depending on the loadout, it can be used against a single hardened target or groups of targets. I love that the doors on this model kit can be opened, but once again be careful, as you could easily mess up one of the numbered decals on the doors, as I did by accident. Next, we have the twin barrel beam rifle mounted on the right arm, another powerful beam weapon enhanced just for the full armor Gundam Thunderbolt. Using the extended barrels that hold beam amplifiers, this weapon can fire adjustable short to long range burst beams, which can devastate enemy mobile suits and ships with ease. The rate of fire is high compared to most other beam weapons of this caliber, and the master grade kit nails every detail of this weapon, though it does have one downside. When I first got this kit assembled, the arm could handle the weight fairly well, but now I have to prop it up against an action base stand to keep it into position. Though with the right handling, you may be able to find a decent enough position with it. On the left arm, we have a 5-tube rapid-fire rocket launcher loaded with high explosive unguided rockets for use against heavily armored targets with low mobility. These were mainly meant to be used to take out Zeon warships and the sniper positions used by the Zeon Living Dead division, and I love the detail that's put into them here on the master grade kit. Because this weapon is not as heavy as the twin barrel beam rifle, it does not weigh down the arm, making it much easier to pose than the other one. The final weapons on the mobile suit are the most hidden. The Gundam is armed with several pods of smaller anti-mobile suit guided missiles. It has 16 missiles in 2 pods on the shoulders, 24 missiles in 6 pods mounted on the rear, front, and side skirts, and then finally 12 mounted in pods on each knee. These are short-range missiles meant to damage or destroy enemy mobile suits and can be fired per pod or in one massive burst of missiles. As you can see, the master grade Ver.Ka Gundam Thunderbolt has all of them in place around the mobile suit, and with the gimmick of the skirts that I showed earlier, this just adds another incredible layer of detail. The details on the head are great, and it has a very good range of movement on it, even with the full armor equipped. Now, lacking those head Vulcan cannons really got EO in a bit of trouble, because in his final battle against the Psycho Zaku, which was using mostly bazooka shells and Zaku rifles, it was unable to intercept any of the bazooka shells with its head Vulcans like previous Gundams would be able to. Now, with a closer look at the feet, you can see the kit also retains the claw grips on the bottom of the feet, and in the show, the Gundam uses these grips on surfaces, allowing it to anchor to them, preventing it from drifting. EO makes great use of them in this final battle by deploying them while moving forward at high speed, the momentum causing his Gundam to flip over so his weapons are pointed back at the enemy pursuing him just as they come around the corner. So, in the end, the full armor Gundam Thunderbolt is an excellent space superiority, heavy assault mobile suit, and the master grade Ver.Ka model kit version of it is just as amazing. On the positive side, the kit manages to replicate nearly everything in detail that the actual mobile suit can do, and makes for an amazing set piece in your Gundam collection if you love Gundam Thunderbolt. The details and effort put into this kit to make it as accurate to the anime really pays off, and is a kit that can be posed in nearly every iconic image from the anime, and definitely I believe is a well-deserved and well-made kit to represent one of the best Gundams, in my opinion, that I've seen in the Gundam Universal Century universe. The downside for this kit is that it is very heavy because of all the weaponry, the backpack, and the shields. So it can be very tricky to stand it up without it being on an actual action base. So I don't recommend trying to do that. If you can, definitely pick up one of the action bases, even one of the newer ones, as the only display that it comes with is a really basic display stand. So definitely get an action base for it. Also, the right arm having trouble supporting the weight of the twin beam rifle can be disappointing, but I solved that by using one of my Bandai Tamashii Nation Act 5 stands to help support the arm. But again, that can be kind of disappointing for anybody else who's expecting a more solid arm that can stand that weight of the weaponry. Overall, even if you're not a fan of Gundam Thunderbolt the anime, this is a great master grade Ver.Ka kit to have on your shelf and well worth the price. You can still pick them up at Hobby Link Japan, Gundam Store USA, and a few other online sites for a decent price. Thank you all for joining me here in the GKaiser Age. Stay tuned for more episodes of Gundam Build Mechanics. Don't forget to like, favorite, comment, subscribe, and then hit that bell icon to know when I have new content up. Also, check out my Twitter link below in the comments if you want to find out more about the things that I'm going to be reviewing and the things that I'm going to be picking up to look into in the future. This is Lucian GKaiser from the GKaiser Age, signing out.